Good morning, everybody. Hello. Hey, it's Becky from Power Tools with Thread. You are in our Stitchuation room. Hello, everybody in the chat. Great to see you guys. This is a Monday through Friday virtual stitching retreat where you hang out with me in here and follow me on my sewing journey. And I hope I can inspire you to put something under the needle. Finally getting to see you live. Glad you're here, Kay. Yay. Are you usually busy in the mornings? Yeah, I know. At least the replay comes on in the afternoons. And you know what, you guys? I love the replay crew. You guys are just so awesome. Thank you for leaving your comments below. I always try to get to them within a day or two. So awesome. Thank you for leaving your comments below. Let me turn my volume down on my phone so I can see what you guys are seeing. So great to see everybody here in the chat. Be sure to give the video a thumbs up. I'd appreciate that very much. Miss Frito is here. Let's do some dog treats, shall we? She's here. Let me move the computer out of the way for you, baby girl, so you can see what's going on. There you are. You going to turn around? Well, don't hide over here. You got to come over here where everybody can see you, Frito. She's hiding behind me. Let me get her over here. Come here. You got to come over here. There you go, sweet girl. This is Frito. She's our little rescue. She hangs out with me here in my sewing room all the time. Yes, she does. Such a good girl. Little Queensland stumpy tail cattle dog. So sweet. Yes, she's a good girl. You want to stick? Go brush your teeth? Okay, there you go. Go brush your teeth. Bye-bye. Scratch, scratch, belly rubs, Lisa. Thank you so much. Oh, my goodness. So much going on here this weekend. I spent a considerable amount of time working on that t-shirt quilt, and it is on the long arm right now. Before we get going, I have to thank FlexiSpot for being a sponsor of today's live. I want to show you guys something very cool. Keith absolutely loves this. They have come out with a new, you know, those recliners that will stand you up so you can get out. He's been struggling ever since he got his knee replaced. So he can, you know, sit down fine, but getting out, he still kind of wobbles a little bit. So FlexiSpot approached us about this standing recliner, lift recliner. This thing even lays back flat. He absolutely loves it. Let me show you about that. It just takes a couple of minutes. I'd appreciate it, you guys. I also have a link below the video where you guys can see what is going on here. Let's see. I have it in my iMovie somewhere. I have it. I have to tell it that it's a video. Just a minute, you guys. I'm poking around with this video file. There we go. Here we go. FlexiSpot for sponsoring this video. My husband Keith, some of you may remember who've been watching me for a while, he got a knee replacement on his right knee. And ever since then, he's been doing great, but he struggles a little bit to get up out of the recliner that he has. And then FlexiSpot came out with this standing recliner, right? It's the XL6, and he just got it a couple of days ago. This one is so affordable, and it was really easy to put together, wasn't it?
Yep, 4 pieces.
4 pieces. So the seat, the back, and the 2 arms, and that was it. And everything's color-coded to put white to white, red to red. You can't mess it up. What do you like about this chair?
Oh, I like it because not only is it a recliner and gets you out, it also has a massage feature with heat. So that's just a bonus on the, I like it because I get in and out easily and it's easily controlled.
Why don't you show them how it lays back? This standing recliner actually lays back flat. It has independent control of the headrest and the footrest. So I'm going to let him demo this.
I got my legs up, and then once you have your feet up, this is when you can go either way. Another thing I really like this, it's not like my old recliner where it only goes back this far. Watch, this is so nice.
Because of the dual motors, it has independent control of the backrest and footrest, allowing you to adjust both to any position and angle you prefer, and can even recline nearly flat at 180 degrees.
And here we are.
Look at that. And he can take a nap right there.
Exactly, that's what I like.
With 4 size options available, the medium size supports up to 400 pounds, and that's what we have. And the other 3 sizes support up to 440 pounds. It surpasses other lift chairs on the market. This is also perfect for the elderly. So as you age, you were talking about getting a new shoulder, right? I can't imagine you having to struggle to get out of a recliner with a new shoulder.
And here we go. We put the feet down, and now we're going to brace the chair.
So you just keep pushing one button and the footrest went down, and here it comes, standing you up. Have you used the massage feature on it?
Oh yes. I turn it on when I'm watching TV. You can adjust it from 15, 30 minutes to whatever setting you want. It has 3 different settings on the vibration. So it's customizable the way you want it. And it's a lot of fun.
At this price point, I don't think it can be beaten. A lift chair on the market that includes all of these features is around $2,000. There's the little pillow that comes with it, and you can put that behind your lower back if you need the support, under your head or under your feet.
And again, to get in, you just press the button, and here we go.
It's got a manually adjustable headrest, ensuring an ergonomic fit for people of different heights. The cover's very easy to care for. It can handle spills with easy wipe up.
Now here's down to the neutral, and if you press the button, this is when your feet will come up.
The footrest?
Footrest.
Having a lift chair is so convenient for anybody who's got mobility issues or is going to go through a surgery and maybe you're going to need some help to get up and down and in and out. But I want to thank FlexiSpot for sponsoring this video. And if you're interested in getting your own FlexiSpot lift chair, check it out by clicking the link below and use my exclusive code YTBXL650 for an extra $50 off. You can save $50 on one recliner or $100 off of 2. Please don't miss out on FlexiSpot's Independence Day sale, up to 65% off of FlexiSpot products. All right, let's get back to the video. Okay, you guys, so I can't get him out of that thing. I saw somebody said, Keith's not going to want to get out of it. He loves that thing. He's in it all the time. So I've got a link below in the description box. And if you want to click on that, save $50 on one or $100 on 2 of them. You guys, that thing, it's really well made. It holds him just fine and he loves it. So it's very comfortable. I've been in it too. Yeah, it's a very cool chair. So anyway, again, I want to thank FlexiSpot for sponsoring the video. I don't know how he's going to do without it while we're on the road. Anyway, they've got all different covers. They've got cloth. Some of them even have cup holders in them, all different styles. So you guys be sure to check that out. All right. So I want to thank Catherine and Marl. You guys are so nice. I have the kindest viewers. We just got back from 2 sew and sail cruises, and they were on, I think the first one or both, I can't remember. Anyway, on the first sew and sail cruise, there was they always do this on Royal. They do a event to recognize the veterans that are on board. And they had gone to that, Marl's veteran, and everybody came back with a little veteran proudly served duck. Well, I didn't get to go to that event because I was in the classroom on the ship with everybody who was in my class. And so when they came back and they had these ducks, I was all bummed because I just got a Jeep and there's a thing with ducks and Jeeps. Anyway, so I was whining about it like a kid. I didn't get a veteran duck. I went to the one on the next sew and sail cruise, but it wasn't the cruise line handing it out. There was somebody there who was handing out ducks to the vets, which was very, very nice on that first cruise. Anyway, so in the mail Friday, Catherine, you guys, you made my day. just made my day. So they sent me his duck that he got and a dog duck for Frito. So sweet. And a nice little card. It has Mickey on the front. And you just got a Jeep, Robin? I love my Jeep. I have the Gladiator little truck. Here's the vet duck for you and Keith, from one military family to another. And of course, one for Frito. Thanks again for being on Sew and Sales. As always, great to see y'all. Have a great summer, Catherine and Marl. Thank you so much, you guys. Made my day. I came out of my sewing room. I'd open the mail. I'm like, look, I got a duck. I got a duck. My vet duck. It is. It's the little things that make such a difference, right, Nancy? You're so right. You are so right. I know. So thank you. Very, very nice. Just made my day. All right. I want to give you guys an update, though, on the t-shirt quilt, show you what's going on with it. Sew Tights is having a sale, and I've got a link to that below in the description box. This is the last day of their sale. If you're thinking about getting Sew Tights, let me show you what I did with that. Let me see my photo library. Let me show you this. So I have the backing all put on the belly bar here with the Sew Tights. Okay. And there's the top on with the Sew Tights right there. And let me see here. This is just a picture, but let me show you guys. I did a little video.
Quilting a t-shirt quilt for Dana Mirabelli. These are Frank's shirts. I love the city streets on the backing. Beautiful.
Yeah, that's really, really nice. So I did something different with the thread on that. So I chose a variegated Fantastico. I don't know if you can see it. Let me zoom in and let you see it. On the top, can you see that? It looks like a light gray, but it's actually a variegated. There you go. You can see the variegation in it right there. So that's the thread that's on the top. That's a 40 weight Fantastico. Okay. And then on the bottom, I'm using a 50 weight So Fine. And I chose this deep, deep eggplant color. And it blends beautifully because there's so much gray. There's actually a little purple in that gray in those city streets on that backing. And just turned out gorgeous. And I am so thrilled that King Quilter 2 Elite from Sewing Machines Plus, you saw it doing its job. And I did a large, it's called large stipple. I would think there's like some places there's an inch between the squeeze and some places there's about 1.5 inches. But that's the way I did it on an 8-inch pattern. Turned out, it's just beautiful. Turned out just gorgeous. So I've got to finish that up today. I'm very, very pleased with it. It turned out just gorgeous. I have 100% cotton batting in there. And I loaded the backing with the center seam on the belly bar and then did that. I tried to do it vertically and it really started showing drag lines on the seam. And I said, nah, I can't be doing that. So I went ahead and took it off and flipped it around. That's beauty of Sew Tights, taking it. If you pin it on, then to unpin it, I'm sure going to stick myself. I'm certain. So very busy doing that. And also yesterday morning, I finally had some quiet time and I went through, I have a little tray in my desk and it's where I keep all my USBs and little straps and cords and all kinds of stuff. I decluttered that and I had a pile of USBs that had random stuff all on them. So I went through there and deleted all of the stuff that was on all of those USBs. I saved what I needed. If it had anything on it I needed to save. And then just got them out of there and set them aside for USBs if I need them. So that was really nice. That's one of those things where you go, oh, it's done. Thank goodness. Some yard work on Saturday. I got up on the roof and blew off all the twigs. Saturday morning was yard work day. Just so much to do before we leave on our trip. Later on in a little bit, I've got to go to the grocery store and get all the groceries for our trip and load up the motorhome with food. Whew, busy times before we leave. So Teeny Talkie Tina said, is it teeny or tiny? I can't remember. Let me see. Let's see. Tiny Talkie Tina, you watched the video on the fabric and you noticed my wall hanging by the washer. And if I can show you, it looks like a wash line with clothes on it. Yeah, that is actually out of a book, Quilted Skinnies. And I did a video on how to do that. Yeah, I did a video on making that wall hanging for Quilted Skinnies. You might search my channel videos. It might have been on a live. It probably was a live because it was almost 2 years ago that I made that. I love that thing. It's awesome. Yeah. So, and I remember that I digitized the little clothespins on that to hold up the little shirt and whatnot. And I did that in the Luminaire. So pretty cool. Star says, yep, I did. You remember that. Yep. So, okay. Did a little bit of sewing yesterday while I was listening to church. And I'm going to finish that up today. Oh, I got to show you my shirt. It says, you don't have to be crazy to quilt with us, but we can teach you, train you. We can train you. This is from Allie M. Tees. I've got a link to her below over at her site. This is super cute. If you've got a quilt group that you guys like to quilt with and, get shirts for everybody for an event, that would be fun. Christmas gifts or something like that. Never can shop too early. So you like the look of the wash line with the clothes on it. Yeah, so I think the wash line, if I remember, I put a piece of rickrack and then I just stitched right through the middle of it with the sewing machine. I think I did do that. So that was actually a snap-applique project. That wash and dry, it says. I cut out the fabric with the scan and cut, all those letters, cut it all out. And then it was a snap-applique project. I created the embroidery design and stitched it in the big hoop on the Luminaire. Yeah. So one of the things I was working on was the Vintage Christmas, Lori Holt's Vintage Christmas. I have all of these blocks done for this, and I want to get this one finished. My chapel block was a total and complete fail, so I have to recut that. I can't salvage that one. And but I was working on the Mary mug. So I've got this cute little star block. Look how I fussy cut that star for the center. Isn't that cute? So I'm going to work on this one right now and just be stitching on that. I still need to do block 12 for the 2024 mystery quilt along, mystery designer mystery quilt along, something like that. So that was from the Fat Quarter Shop. And I need to get this block done. And then I also need to stitch up all of the little flower blocks that go in the center in between these blocks. I don't have those done. So this is still quite a ways from being finished. And then the Quilted Snowman, the July blocks for the Quilted Snowman are the June blocks are the winter hat, which is that one right there. Okay, that big old thing goes on his head. And then the face block. And I've been so busy doing embroidery for the longest, last couple of weeks that I didn't get that done. So his face as well. Okay, I got the hat cut out yesterday and need to get the face done and cut today. I don't know if I'm going to sew it. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of staging all of the projects I'm going to take with me on the road. We leave on Wednesday and we're going to be gone until mid-August in the motorhome where I'm traveling around and doing classes on snap-applique and teaching and that kind of thing. And so, not, I'm not going to be driving myself crazy. Don't worry. But there's plenty of downtime in between classes, believe me. But so I want to go. Oh, good, Midge. You got it back from the long armor. Her quilted snowman will go on display for the residents during the Unity and Community Celebration. That's wonderful. That's fantastic. Is that your church? So yeah, what I'm doing is I'm getting all of that ready to put on these Easy Stacks trays and make sure that I've got all the fabric for the quilts in the Yazzie bags that I have. And I have a spot behind the couch in the motorhome where all of my Yazzie bags will be stashed, and that's where they will travel, and I'll just pull one out when I'm going to do something. A must for me today is to go through the Autumn Love, which is the embroidery design that we're doing, the Autumn Love instructions, and pull all the threads that I need, because I will be traveling with my combo NQ 3700D that is a 6x10 hoop. That's one of the reasons I chose the 6x10 version of Autumn Love, because I knew I'd be sewing it in the motorhome with you guys. So very, very busy. But right now today is getting groceries done for the trip and getting everything staged and ready to go so that I have all of my stitching stuff that I need, not only to stitch with you guys in the morning in the motorhome, but also to be ready to travel and teach. So yes, you get tired listening to all I'm doing? Just one bite at a time. That's just it. Don't let it all overwhelm you. I just kind of compartmentalize each project and just a little bit at a time, and it'll go. Oh, also, I did put a video out yesterday on how I set the red color fabric for the quilted Christmas tree that we're going to be making while I'm on the road. We start that July 14th, which is like the second Monday, I think, in July. So July 14th is when I'm going to start that. And it's a perfect stash buster. So if you didn't get the kit, I think the kits are all sold out at Two Chicks. But if you didn't get the kit, then you can just get into your reds and greens and whatnot for the pattern. The pattern is a download on Etsy. So there's plenty of patterns. It will not run out, and you can get that. The trick to setting colors, you guys, is cold water and vinegar. That's it. And then, of course, color catchers when I washed it. I'm not going to wash the green and other colors, pre-wash those, because I did pre-wash the reds. People get worried about shrink, and shrink differences and whatnot in the fabrics. I'm not real worried about that. These fabrics all come from a quilt shop, high quality fabrics. So I'm just going to put it together. I'm not going to worry about it and do the green. If that bothers you, go ahead and pre-wash if you want. That doesn't matter, because, you're going to cut them down into 5-inch squares, right? So I don't know. Neither here nor there, I don't think. All right. Dee Dee, you found a bunch of your Christmas fabrics this weekend. That's great. Well, you're welcome, Cindy. She said, thank you for doing the video on setting red fabric. Anytime you've got something, you might even consider purples and blacks. Okay. If you're going to be doing a quilt heavy in purples and blacks, you might want to set those as well. I've seen blacks run really bad, the dye. Okay. You get that more with dyed fabric, like solids. If it's the same color on the back as the front, you will get a lot of bleeding usually with the dye, okay? With fabrics that are white on the back and colored on the front, that's a print. So the dye set is different on those fabrics. Know your textiles, you guys. I always say that. And then when I washed my fabrics, I'll show you quickly. Let me go get the stack. I need to get them pressed out. I might do that today as well. I don't know, depending on how much time I have. Let me get these here. Whoa. Oh. And then in my Amazon store, in my quilting favorites, I put in there the X Clean color catchers. Y'all, they work as good as the Shout color catchers. Here they are right here. Look how pink they are after the dye set. Okay. Here's all the threads from that bundle. And it was in a lingerie bag. All of them were in a lingerie bag. Okay. But look at the thread. So you don't want to wash pre-cuts. And that was on gentle. Yeah. So this all got done. And then I think these are bigger too. Maybe they're not as wide, square inch wise, but these are soft. These feel like bounce dryer sheets is what they feel like. But I did dye, or I had different buckets for, if you didn't get a chance to see the video yet, I had different buckets for white backed, like the white based prints, red versus red based. Okay. See the difference? Because as these are together, I don't want this white in this bucket. So I did them separately. The ones that were white, I did separate. Then I just washed them all together in the same lingerie bag. And I didn't get any pink on my white backed fabrics that has a base color of white. Okay. Everything turned out just perfect. You know, it might bleed again. It might. I'm going to wash it on cold again with plenty of color catchers after. If I wash it, I will wash it on cold. That's the thing. If you use hot or warm, you're going to encourage those dyes to run. So, all right. So these are ready to be pressed and cut. Pretty happy about that. All righty. So much to do. So I got a video out for you guys too. I know it was hard to hear me on that video. I'm sorry. If you notice, in that video, on the other side of my cutting table is suitcases. We had just gotten back from those back-to-back cruises, and I was dog tired. Dog tired. It was terrible. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the quilt on the wall was a 2024 designer mystery quilt, Scrapping Like a Lady. Sure was. Each block was done by a different Moda fabric designer. So it's beautiful. It's going to be huge. These blocks finish at 18 and a half. Well, they finish at 18. They're 18 and a half. They're big. So, all right. Let me see. I don't want to miss any. I know our cold water is warm. I know, Ann. Oh, my goodness. Y'all, when I turn on cold water out of the tap, it feels like it's 80 degrees. I'm serious. It's crazy. All righty. So let me get to doing some stitching here. Going to soak a red layer cake. Yeah, that's fine. Bonnie, be sure to pull out the white backed if you have any of that. But if it's all red, just put it in cold water, soak it for an hour. Watch my video. I did it yesterday. So you can see how that's done. And now I would not put a layer cake in the washing machine. I would not do that. If you want to wash a layer cake, I'd put it in the sink with some laundry soap and just hand, okay? Just do it by hand. If you've got a double sink, even better, gently by hand. If you throw it in the washing machine, you will not get your 5x5 squares if that's what you were planning on using, okay? Just FYI, because it will shred down to nothing. And who wants to go and serge all the edges? That's crazy. I know people do it, but I just don't have the time or the patience for that. Yeah, you're welcome, Bonnie. She says, perfect. Thank you. Okay. So let me get to stitching on this. Yeah, you guys, if you're planning on using pre-cuts, no washing machine. I would not wash anything smaller than a fat quarter, okay? You saw how many threads come off on those, right? It's crazy. All righty, so let me pop over here to this and get some stitching going on here. Let's see. I need to read the instructions and figure out which one I'm doing here. I've got my little center of my deal. Okay. Got to put my sides on. These are here. Let me turn on my iron. Oh my goodness. This video, because of the FlexiSpot commercial that's on here, I'm going to try to download it. You have a question, Stacy? What you got, sweetie? Let's see. What is the measurements of the Christmas tree quilt? Can't find how big it'll be. I think it's on the front of the pattern, isn't it? Pretty sure it's on. I can't remember. I can't remember right now. Let's see. Okay. 63 by 81. That's a good size. Thanks, Quilt Wench. Appreciate it. Yeah. Well, I think I cut the wrong fabric from my mug here. I'm pretty sure I did. And I don't think it's going to matter. I'm not going to worry about it. Right. Yep. I'm not going to worry about it. Because the mug is a whole bunch of different colors of fabric, apparently. What happened with the chapel block? That's the one you're working on now. Stacy, I did the corners wrong. Wrong fabric on the wrong side of the corners. That's what I did. So Hope, I'm not sure what part of Michigan. I'm in conversation with them and let them know that they were hoping it was going to be part of a road trip, but our road trip for 2026 is on the East Coast. So if I go up there, it'll be flying, and I'm not sure about that. So we'll get it. We'll figure it out. I don't know. I don't know where she was talking about. It was some camp somewhere. Yeah, it was the first two blocks in the chapel block. I totally botched it. There was no going back because I'd already cut the corners and all that. Totally botched it. I was so frustrated with myself. What happened here? Right out the gate. Look what I did. Right out the gate. Sewed that down wrong. Jeez. Good morning. It's Monday. Yep. So yeah, I'm going to see if I can download this video and then it's going to be uploaded as a regular video. So if you're watching that one and not the live, you won't be able to see the chat. You'd have to, I don't think, but you might be able to. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. I'll put this one on here. This is working out good. So I'm really excited to get everything going today. It's going to be a very, very busy day for us. Tomorrow I have a haircut. I'm going to go get my toes done today. Got to get that done before we get on the road, right? But tomorrow is a haircut and we have pool school. So the pool school guy's coming over. The guy who's going to take care of the pool, we're hiring a company to take care of the pool, especially while we're gone. He's coming over today. He'll be here about 10:30, I think. So Keith will be busy telling them what's going on. We brought our boat back from the coast. Keith did that last week, so got the tarp on that. We're going to put that up for sale. Ah, that looks great. Looks great. Love it. Yep. So just so much to go, you know, when you're not home for 2 months, but I'm really glad we have somebody staying with the house. We'll have a guy, friend of ours, whose house is being built not too far from us. He's going to be house sitting for us. So that's really, really nice. We'll have Frito. He just has to take care of the chickens. And, you know, get the pool done and all that. It has to be cleaned, the deck. So, and I've also got to get in touch with somebody to get some grass. We need some grass put all around our pool. Got to get the sprinkler system all moved around. There's so much to do out there. My gosh. All righty. You just sold your power boat. Good. I know they say the very best days of owning a boat are the day you buy it and the day you sell it. I'm glad to see that thing gone. For as little as he used it, he might have used it 4 times a year. The maintenance and the insurance on that, oh my word. He did $3,200 worth of maintenance on it last year. Used it 4 times, right? Ugh, crazy. And we weren't even storing it anywhere. We weren't paying to have it stored anywhere. Okay, I've got to get these 2 blocks together like this. So probably the green one, I'm going to press those seams the other direction so I can nest these. So I'll just take a second and do that. Yeah. Oh, Elaine, did you tell everybody you got your luminaire? Not luminaire, your Avenir. I know you were so excited about that. You got your Avenir and a great deal on your trade from a brother dealer. I know you were thrilled about that. So good for you. Congratulations. Let me press these the other direction. It was allergic to water, Judy. That's funny. She had a boat like that. It was allergic to water. Well, you know, I used to fish all the time when I was a kid with my dad. It just doesn't hold the same sparkle for me anymore. So I'll go out there, and we have a beamy top on it, so I could sit in the shade, which was nice. But I don't know. I'd rather be in the house quilting. You know what I mean? So it just lost its luster, the whole fishing thing. All right. So now I've got these seam allowances pressed the other way. Now I can nest them. Good morning, Cindy. Glad you're here. But he's going to hold on to it. It's actually a Skeeter bay boat. Skeeter usually makes freshwater boats, but it's a bay boat. So it's designed for the shallows. It does have a slight V hull, but it's designed for shallows. You know, normally when I nest, you guys, I tell y'all to put your pin in at an angle, but both of these seams are at an angle where it's nesting. They're both diagonal seams. So I pin straight. That's the only time I pin straight when I nest, is if both the seams are on a diagonal. Getting this particular, let me switch cameras so I can zoom in and show you guys. Getting this particular thing done, let me point it down. Trying to get these to nest properly were on diagonal seams. So I did this seam's going toward the dark and this seam is going toward the light. And that's the way you can, let me pull this, get that to nest really tight like that. Okay. So I just match up the seams. I take a peek in there and match them up. And then I'll take a pin and I'll pin them together straight as opposed to diagonally, because I don't have a straight seam I'm sewing across. I have a diagonal seam I'm sewing across. And then I'll pin the bottom ends so that they don't dance around, because they like to do that. All right. So that got a little bit of baggy on bottom, you guys. Okay. Let's see. This is kind of tricky when you're doing these seams, but that's the secret, is to press one seam the other direction. I'm going to go very slow and take one stitch over that pin. because I want to make sure they're anchored together. There we go. Okay. So let's see how it looks. It's perfect. Okay. Both of them are perfect. That's how you do that. And get these kinds of angled seams together. Perfect. Ta-da! Right? Yay. Gotta love that. Yay! Clap. Yeah, these can be pretty tricky. If you try to do it without bending that seam the other direction, you're going to be like, why doesn't it match? Because they'll be all off and you'll be angry and frustrated and get up and go do something else. Yeah. Perfect, perfect. Love it. Let me put this on the little wool sewing bar. All right. That turned out gorgeous. That's exactly what I want right there. Just like that. Delta, you got your Avenir and you're loving it? Good. Yeah, we've got so many irons in the fire. I can't do it right now. Oh, that's going to be cute. It's going to be cute. Kathy, I use Dritz quilting pins. I don't like weak pins at all. And the Dritz pins, they matter. So I think these are, how long? 1 3/4 inch. Yep. 1 3/4 inch Dritz quilting pins. Thank you, Shannon. She says, yay, looks great. That matters. It really does. I don't like pins that are weak. I'm pretty fussy about it. No, I'm going to do it this way. Okay. Yep. Oh, so you traveled up to Pittsburgh to buy it? Yeah. So Elaine traveled up, go to Amy's Sewing. She's a brother dealer. Oh, my girlfriend's quilt shop just became a brother's dealer out there in Utah, you guys. If you're interested, if you need a brother dealer nearby, they just became one. My girlfriend's quilt shop. Also, there's a Kimberbell Enchanted Winter. I forgot to link that below. I'll do it right after the video. I'm doing that one, the Enchanted Winter. Okay. So if you want to get it, I'll put my link under there. And then I'm going to be sewing that this coming fall. Can you make the square smaller for the Quilted Christmas sew along? And the way it is too large for me. You know, Tina, I would think you could trim it down to 4.5 inch squares. I don't see why not. As long as everything is the same, it should work, right? I would think. You have a little issue with your diagonals, but if you've got, I don't know, maybe I would think you could cut everything. Since everything's on a 5, maybe you can cut it down to 4.5. I don't know. I don't know how small you want to go. Yeah, it's on sale at my girlfriend's quilt shop. It goes off sale today. Thank you, Carol. So yeah, I'm going to be doing that, and we can do it together if you want. It ships in September. That's the one. I knew I was forgetting to link something under there, but I'll put that on, okay, when we get done. 2.5 inch squares? Ooh, I wouldn't want to do that, Betsy. Now look, I just did it again. Why did I do that again? I did it again, look. That's so weird. I never do that. And I've done it twice in one day. So weird. What is that about? Talking, not paying attention is exactly what it's about. Oops. It's fine. See, you don't have to do the whole thing, just the part you boo-booed. Okay, that looks good. I said in the video thumbnail I was going to be working on the snowman, and I haven't even touched him yet. Let me swap over to that in case some of you were doing that. So I got the bottom of this together. Look at that. Yeah, I guess if you make 2.5-inch squares, it'll be half the size, right? Now, there's a snapplique I'm going to do on that for the bows on the presents. And what you could do is scan in that pattern for the bow that they have, right? And just shrink it down to half of its size in canvas, then cut it out. Yep. I would do that. 100 proof quilter. Oh, you guys, that's hoop envy, my friend. She says, one of these days I'll get a machine with a larger hoop. Yeah. Lady wanted to get one and she emailed me and she says, what? I don't know anything about embroidery machines, or mine's really old and I don't know anything about the new ones nowadays. What should I do? Buy the most machine you can afford. That's the single biggest thing right there. And then I like wireless if you can get it. Okay. That's a thing. Oh, I just put my pattern up. I like wireless. Okay. So let's get this winter hat going here. I need an H and 4 G's. Okay. So I got to draw a line on the back of these G's. 1, 2, 3. Where's the 4th one? There we go. And once again, in this quilted snowman, I'm just going to stop worrying about direction of it's a directional background, which was mean, I think, to do. It was just cruel. Don't you think so, Midge? She said, I'll never again. Directional background, just cruel. Made for a lot more work. So if you're new here, this is my method for absolute perfect sew and flip points. You want to zoom in a little. This is where I say maintain the integrity of the base shape. So what you do is you put the ruler corner to corner, and then you draw a line right next to the ruler. This is a friction marker, okay, pen. It's the fine liner. It's a magic marker. And then you make a little mark on the corner. That's the corner that's going to get cut off because this half of the triangle is smaller than this half. So this is our sew line. Okay, that's how you do that. Let's see, 2 of them are like this, and then the other 2 need to be like this. We'll just do it, and I'll flip it. Right? Isn't that how? No, like this. Yeah, like that. Okay. Mark that. Okay. That's how that's got to get done. So then I'm going to take piece H, which is this one right here. That's a big little hat. This is a big guy for sure. Yeah. And I'm going to just press this a little bit. I'm using the Oliso M3 Pro iron and the Oliso ironing mat. I've got all of this stuff linked below in the section around my sewing room. Okay. So how this works is, sometimes you can fold them ahead of time so you can make sure that your directional fabric is going the way you want, right? So you want to put it exactly on the fabric, okay? You don't want it to be off like that, where you can see beige over the top of your background fabric, and you don't want it where you can see pink instead, okay? It has to be exactly. This is the base shape, and we're going to maintain the integrity of the base shape. That's kind of a mantra that I do to make sure that things are right. because this corner with the mark on it is smaller than this corner, there is room for this to fold over, okay, and match this point exactly. I'll do all 4 of them like this, and I'm going to sew on the line. I don't lose that. Okay. And then fold that. Yep, that's going to be right like that. That's why I put a little mark on those so I know which corner is the smaller side. Because when you do a whole bunch of these at one time, it's really easy to get them mixed up. And you got a 50-50 chance of getting it right. You can eyeball it. You just have to make sure that you're not sewing in the, oh, that's wrong. There we go. That one goes in this corner. You just have to make sure you're not sewing it exactly corner to corner. You have to sew it right next to corner. Otherwise, you don't have enough fabric to fold over. And you'll be all mad because you'll have wonky corners. And you'll be like, what happened? There we go. That's right. Okay. Oh, a lady that I'm friends with down in Port O'Connor. Do I use a liter fabric on those tiny squares? Sharon, on this machine, I don't need a liter fabric. So now, these are, see how you can't see the sew and flip over the side of the fabric. I've maintained the integrity of the base shape. You cannot see any of the tan background fabric. Now, because I sewed on the line on that, so this side's smaller, I have room. I'm just going to fold this up and the points match exactly. Okay. I can't see pink from the back and I can't see tan from the front. No, the other way around. I can't see tan. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, right? So because the larger half of that square is the one that's flipping over, I've got plenty of room and it fits perfectly every single time. The other trick is I'm finger creasing these before I go to the iron, and I will press before I cut. Some people have the gift to be able to just sew it and cut it and flip it. But to me, how do you know how far to fold this over if you don't have the corner right there? You need to know how far to flip that over. Okay. So a straight stitch for $100 or less. No, ma'am, I am not aware of one. You're welcome, Lori. She said she used my tray method of keeping fabrics organized for a project. They're so handy, aren't they? Yeah, so handy. Okay. So I'm just going to press this, making sure my corner's exactly where I need it. I just want those points to match exactly. Then cut it. So this piece of fabric is supposed to be 5.5 by 8.5 when it started. It needs to be 5.5 by 8.5 when it finishes. It's just 2 different color fabrics. See? Not 5.5 by wonky corner. That's not what we're after. Remember, somebody made this for me? Maintain the integrity of the base shape. How cute is that? This is from Charlie's Creations. Thank you, Charlie. I need to hang it like right here. Boy, we've got a couple of months of those there, right? Put this right here. Stay there. Okay. So it's still 5.5 by 8.5. And the corners are perfect and straight and not wonky. That's what you're after. Nothing's hanging over the sides. It doesn't look wonky, okay? Oh, good for you, Diana. Completed your first edge to edge. Good for you. Awesome. Now I'm going to cut. That's the secret to sew and flips. Accurate, precise sew and flips. Put the ruler corner to corner, the line right next to it. Sew on the line, finger crease, press, then cut. That's the trick. Otherwise, if you're tugging that fabric, you sewed the long side, the long triangle. Should be 8.5. And it is exactly 8.5. Yay. Both sides. Perfect. 5.5. Yep. And 5.5. Perfect. Okay. Awesome. Thumbs up, everybody. Yay. If you're watching on your TV, grab your TV remote and hit the channel up button. I'd appreciate that. That's a thumbs up. Brenda, when you're good, you're good. Well, I'm something. I'm something. Something else. All righty. More sew and flips. All right. I need an A on the hat part. Let's see. This was the pom-pom. Okay. Here's my hat. Let me press this out. Big old squares. Big, big squares. Now, the way this quilt is, the way the pattern is they had you make all of these the little snow blocks, snowballs and all that, and snowflakes. That was done January. I did mine last August. Long time ago. Okay. Ruler's not big enough. I need a ruler. Is this one big enough? That'll work. Okay. And it always gets my brain messed up to remember to diagonally do these different directions. Corner to corner, make a line and a mark on the smaller triangle. And then this one's going to be like this from this way, so that when it folds, that directional fabric has a halfway chance of being right. I swear. I spent gobs of time getting that straight for those little snowballs. Oh my gosh. Do I starch my quilt pieces? I did on these, yes. Well, because they had been folded up for so long in a Yazzie bag. So, oh my goodness, y'all. All right. Well, our hour is up. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. Don't forget, there is a coupon down below for $50 off one of those lift recliners. You guys will love it. Absolutely love it. Get one. I want to get one, right? I'm stuck with our old recliner, which is fine. I don't have a new knee, but could I show how to make the pockets to put on the back of a wall hanging? Cindy, take a square. It's just a square, okay? And fold it into 2 triangles. Sew that into the seam, the raw edge in the seam, and a couple of stitches on the point, and that's it, okay? That's it. All right, y'all. Have a great afternoon. I will see you in the morning. Let's sew again together again then. And I will head off to the grocery store. I got to get back before 10:30 when the lawn guy gets here. All right, pool guy. I've got too many people coming. We'll talk to you soon. You guys go sew something. Bye.